Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the High Level Release Radar, where we sit down with the product team, in this case, the engineering team from High Level. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Karan Agarwal. He is the engineering manager for CRM and platform engineering. Karan, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Karan and I got to know each other pretty well in Japan. We had a lot of, I feel like, deep philosophical conversations around AI, which was a pleasure. Today, we're talking about marketplace, though. Karan, for those that don't know, what are you and the team working towards with the marketplace?
Right. So with Marketplace, the aim is to be able to extend the software and its abilities into use cases that are way beyond what we've been able to think of and what we'll be able to build. So those are use cases that are specific to a very small niche and targeting a specific set of customers or a specific problem. So for example, we don't have the WhatsApp integration. So the ability to build a WhatsApp integration into the platform, or there might be other providers that you need for specific countries. So being able to extend the platform capabilities is really what the marketplace is about. And you can think of it as the Play Store or App Store, where you try to install some application on your phone. So in this case, you try to install some application from the marketplace on your location or agency.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. It's sort of like the high level app store, right? And
Yeah.
recently, the team has released a few things that I thought were so cool that I was like, hey, come jump on the new show because we should talk about this and make sure that the dev community at large is aware of what you can do right now. So, the latest release is triggers, right? So that and actions. Am I correct in saying that? That if I build an application that integrates with high level, I can actually build high level workflow triggers and actions now. Is that correct?
Yes, Actions is already out and Triggers is going out, I think, in a week or two.
That's amazing. So I think one of the first use cases we've seen is like postcard applications, right? People that send physical postcards in the mail have built integrations where now, if you enable it, you'll see an actual new action in your workflow, right? That is essentially, hey, send this contact a postcard.
Yes, exactly. So you would be able to essentially pick out all the fields in the action, and you can define on the marketplace side what the action should do. And we capture the data that you're looking for and then send a webhook to you, and then you can process it any way you would like. And what's also cool is you can send a response back, and that response you can map it to the existing system. And there, from that system, you can also use that response into other areas. Let's say you want to add it in a contact. You want to update a custom field based on the response that your API sent, or you want to add it to a note. Let's say you're having a chat GPT action. You try to send in something, the API sent a response, and you want to add a note to be used in a conversation later on. So you could now do all of those things with custom workflow actions.
This is amazing. And one thing that I think is so cool is that the team didn't just build this for the community, but also for ourselves, right? So in the past, up until now, when one team would build something, a lot of times, like what's a good example? I feel like one just came out. A team will build something, and then right after that, the community is like,
Opportunity.
okay, well, where's the trigger and where's the condition and if else and where's the action? And so then they would have to take that and go communicate with the workflow team of, hey, we built this and now the community wants triggers and actions for it. Can you workflow team go build it? But now that you guys built this infrastructure, all of the different high level product teams can build their own triggers and workflows, correct?
Yeah. So, and I think this is a very important one. And we at CRM face this the most. Like we went in recently with opportunity custom fields, and everyone was like, "Hey, how can I add a trigger on like the opportunity custom field changing, or is there an action on I want to change some opportunity custom field, like on form submissions? I want to be able to add in like information onto the opportunity custom fields as opposed to contact." And for all of those things, I think for the people who are listening to us, high level engineering is a really large team now. And it's really a very complicated piece of software now moving forward. And I think this is an approach that we're taking into engineering more and more. where all of the internal apps we're building as platforms. So we're really treating the other teams, let's say in this case, the CRM team, also as a customer of workflows. So workflows is building a platform, and then the CRM team can build in all the actions and triggers that they want. So what this really means for all of our customers is, as soon as we go out with the opportunity custom fields, we would also be able to launch the action and trigger at the same time and not have a separate release by workflow stream 2 months later to be able to do those things.
Which is so exciting. So basically now
Yeah.
I feel like instead of releasing skateboards, we're going to jump right to the motorcycle because it will roll out with the corresponding triggers and actions and workflow filters and things like that that people expect, which is so cool. So Karan, I know we don't have a ton of time, but talk to me in general about the future of Marketplace. Like what's coming next and what are you most excited to see roll out?
So I think a couple of things. The first one that we just rolled out, another really huge update, was the ability to install an application on the agency side and then be able to really install it into all the locations at the same time. So let's say if an agency has 500 locations, traditionally with Marketplace, the biggest customer ask has been, hey, I am having to install this application on every location one by one, and I have 500 locations. So how do I really do that? Is it because it's really tough? And now what we've done is on the agency side, you get the option, you can select all and bam, you install the applications onto. And if you want to deselect a few locations, I want to install onto 500 locations, but these five. So you can do that as well. You can search for those and then deselect those and still deploy that integration onto 495 locations. So I think that is something that I'm really excited about. The other
Nice.
major thing is I'm excited about payments. I think for me, this is the biggest one. Today, our integrators, a lot of them have built really amazing solutions that should reach to the larger community and should reach to more people. But they're limited because they have to manually collect in the payments for from every location owner or agency owner, whoever they're selling to. But with payments into marketplace, it will become seamless. On the app marketplace, you go in, the payment already happens. And then there's also the ability to resell. So I want to mark up and then resell it to all of the locations. So as an agency admin, I have the option to do that. And
Oh.
then it becomes really easy for the developer to get paid. He doesn't have to manually keep a track of all the people using him, invoice them every month, and then collect those payments. And then if those people, for example, someone doesn't want to continue, then remove them manually. I think all of this will become seamless, and the developers will have this ability. It will become really simple for them. And then they'll be able to focus more on the core area that they should be focusing on, like providing the most value to people and not the operational things.
So wait, let me make sure I have this correct. So basically what you're saying is in the near future, I'll be able to go into Marketplace, look at all the apps, pick one, enable it, and then the payment essentially goes on my high level bill. And then if I want to mark that up to my customers, I can do that so that I can profit off this integration. But then at the end of the month or whatever the billing period is, high level just pays the builder of the integration so that the builder doesn't have to go collect from all of the people using their application. They just get paid once from high level for all of them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, precisely what that is.
That's super cool. So how far out do you think that is?
I think that is going to be a level up release. So I think I'd say pretty soon now. It's just 2 months till
Yeah,
level
so
up.
not far away. This will probably go live, I don't know, within the next week or so. So we're basically a month and a half ish will be out for that, which I think is really exciting for the dev community. So when that's ready, is that when the marketplace goes in app?
That will be before. The in-app will be, I think, in the next 2 weeks, where the marketplace starts to show up inside the app. The payments ability will be after that.
Wow, very cool. So hopefully if you're watching and you are an engineer, a builder, what we're basically saying is that the folks that are building integrations for high level are about to get way more visibility into what they build, right? Because now you'll be able to browse and find applications from inside the app and not have to know that somebody built it and go search it out yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And that's precisely what our aim was with the marketplace in the first go. So that how do we get more discoverability to all of these people who are building such cool integrations? How do we make them reach to the larger community and then have all of our customers benefit from what they're building? And then how to make their lives easier. So then build solutions like payments, build solutions like the API call rate limiting, and what all, I think, continue to build solutions as and when we need it.
Amazing. So before I let you go, I want to ask you one last question because I can recall something. I think we were on a bus to Mount Fuji and we were having a conversation around marketplace. And you said something that blew my mind, which was essentially that the team wants to take the reach of what you can build as deep almost as our internal teams have access. And I didn't quite understand what you meant, but I think the result of that would be I could go build an integration for the website builder, just like a WordPress plugin. I could go build an integration for, I don't know, Smart List or something. Basically, talk to me about that. How are you going to enable the dev community to sort of go deeper into the code?
Yeah, I think Mount Fuji, the trip to Mount Fuji has been one of the best places to talk about this. I think it was the perfect ambience to talk about something like this. And the aim behind that is, as and when the high level is growing and we have more engineers, the idea is how do we really 10x or 20x the product? And the way we think about it is let's also have all of the developer partners have the same access as the CRM team does or the flow team does. So they can be really open the platform and then they can decide what they want to use it for. So we build in the AWS of cloud, if you will. We really build the basic building blocks, and then you can build almost anything on top of it and serve any customer that you want. So that has been the aim. And how we achieve that is, I think we're already on that track. So last year we launched the ability to roll out custom conversation providers. So that was the first module that we started to roll
Right.
out. And now I think this is continuing to go into every module that there is. So first we started with custom conversation providers. You can bring in your own messaging channels. Now it's workflow actions and triggers. Then it's going to be custom JS and custom CSS. Then it's going to be funnel widgets. So imagine you want to build something and you automatically build a funnel widget as well. And that gets listed when someone installs your application, it gets listed into their funnel builder, form widgets, server widgets, and snapshots. So you're building something and you want to make it a part of snapshots. So I think that would be possible over there. And
Amazing.
also, I think greater API access. So today, I think the API access that we have is for a portion of the products that we have, but then continuing to make sure that everything that all the APIs that our front end uses are also given to the developers. So basically, they can build almost anything that they would like to build.
It's so exciting because for me, what's most exciting about this is we try to rely on the ideas board, right? Hopefully, ideas.gohighlevel.com. You can go vote for things that don't exist today. And the ones that get the most votes are typically what we build next. And so what this means is that it's not just us having to get around to the next thing. Like, for example, there are probably tons of things that don't have very many votes that are great ideas for a small subset of the users. But now the high level community is so big, a small subset might be thousands of people that would love that one thing, but we won't get to it for another year because it just doesn't have enough votes. Well, now the community can go and search through the ideas board and be like, well, I could build that, right? And then they can go build that thing and they can make a decent amount of money off of it. And it takes the pressure off of having to wait around for us to get to it, right? So I'm so excited to see all these sort of little niche apps get built where a couple thousand people use them. The developer is making good money from it. And it's something that we wouldn't have touched for a year or two.
Yeah, and exactly. I think you put it perfectly. That's exactly what the intention behind the application marketplace is, to be able to. So we have limited engineering and product, I think, capabilities, but then we have thousands of ideas on the ideas board. And I think today we're able to pick ideas that have more than, let's say, 100 votes or 150 votes. But there's a lot of ideas that have 20, 30, 50 votes. There's a lot of really cool ideas in that niche that have those kind of upwards, but then we're not able to build those things. And I think now with the approach that we're taking, so I think we're asking the developer partners to come in and build those solutions and be able to sell those solutions to the community. So it's a win-win for everyone.
So cool. Well, Karan, I know that you have to jump to a customer call, but thank you so much for joining us. If people are watching, they are developers, and they don't know that we have a marketplace, where should they go to sort of register, get more information about how they can get involved?
Yeah, so marketplace.gohighlevel.com is the best place where you can understand all of these things and get the documentation and register to be a marketplace developer and then create an app and then use all the features that we have on the marketplace side.
And that gets you into the dev community, and we have monthly dev council calls too, right? Where all the engineers of the high level community get together for a call with our team.
Yes, exactly. So I think if you there's a Slack community. So I think these two places, the marketplace.gohighlevel.com plus the Slack community. And with the Slack community, we have a monthly dev council call where some of the, I think, most proactive developers join in, and there are engineers, and you get to talk to the engineering team directly. So then we get to hear the feedback from everyone, and then we build solutions that are the most wanted by everyone on the community.
Great. And I don't know how you join the Slack. Do you? I'll have to look it up and put it in the description below the video.
Yeah, I think the best way would be it's an invite based system. So one of us would have to invite. So I think if they can just drop in an email, I think we can do one of us. I think they can send an email to me, and then I think we can invite them into the Slack community.
All right, great. Well, Karan, I know you have to run. As always, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for inviting me. Have a nice day.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you in the next one.